Straight ahead on 12 News, a year of innovation, how creative ideas led to helpful inventions across the northwest suburbs. Plus, a new way to police drunken drivers. It's a way authorities say will put more cops on the streets. But first, a dark shadow cast by a fiscal cliff.
It's really devastating now that it's come to this. I just didn't think this would ever happen.
12 News starts right now. More than 12,000 Minnesotans are set to lose their extended unemployment benefits if a deal is not reached on the fiscal cliff. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Johnson.
And I'm Jennifer Anderson. Those emergency unemployment benefits expire at the end of the year. And as Alexander Renzel reports, it would put those already struggling to find work in an even tougher position.
I'm just researching jobs, and if I find something, I'll write it down.
Ever since losing her job in March, Ann Pritchard's been in an all-out hunt to find work.
Everybody's pretty tight because of the economy.
This 50-something single grandmother is scraping by with the help of $320 a week in emergency unemployment benefits. But that's set to end Saturday.
It's really devastating to me. And I'm sorry I'll get... because I could lose my home that I've worked so hard for. You know, being a single parent for so many years. That's what scares me the most, is losing my home.
Pritchard is one of 12,000 Minnesotans who will lose their extended unemployment benefits if a deal is not reached on the fiscal cliff.
Anytime somebody is coming off of unemployment insurance and doesn't have a job, we're obviously very concerned.
Minnesota's Commissioner of Employment and Economic Development says state officials have reached out to all those affected, letting them know about local workforce centers where they can access one-on-one job counseling and an online jobs database.
We are always working on how can we help connect Minnesotans with the jobs that are in demand and open positions available in their communities.
It's just showed me that nothing's guaranteed.
Ann Pritchard's search for a job in inside sales and customer service has come up short so far, but she's not giving up. She's got a small side business with promotional products, but she knows it's not enough to hold on to her home. She needs lawmakers to reach a deal in days, not weeks.
I think about the homeless people out there, and I think, gosh, you know, I could be homeless too. You know, what's going to happen to me and my family, and what's going to happen to all the other workers across the country.
Benefits will expire across the nation on Saturday for those who have unemployment benefits beyond the standard 26 weeks. And Mike and Jennifer, even if a deal is reached, it's a huge unknown how long those benefits could be extended for.
Tough situation. Yeah. All right, thank you, Alex. The job of improving Minnesota's economy will fall on the shoulders of a new DFL-led legislature, including Ryan Winkler of Golden Valley. Winkler unveiled what he calls the prosperity agenda. In an editorial to the Star Tribune, Winkler says lawmakers should consider raising the minimum wage, which is currently $5.25 per hour for small businesses with lower revenues. Winkler says lawmakers also need to work on closing the state's racial achievement gap, which ranks among the worst in the nation. And Winkler says lawmakers need to expand research dollars at state colleges and universities, which he believes will lead to job growth. Winkler has a key role in creating jobs as chair of the House Select Committee on Living Wage Jobs.
This New Year's weekend, police across the Northwest Metro will be busy scanning the streets for drunken drivers. It'll be a true test for a new DWI charging system just launched in Brooklyn Park. For police officers busting a drunken driver, what you see on the side of the road is just the beginning.
We take their photographs, we fingerprint them.
In Brooklyn Park, officers take offenders to what's called the intoxilizer room, where they take their information.
The key component to law enforcement is paperwork and documentation. All the facts have to be documented correctly, factually, and they have to be relevant to the case.
In the past, officers were getting tied up filling out a series of forms, but not anymore thanks to a system developed by the State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension called eCharging.
It allows us to process all of our criminal complaints directly into an electronic system. Before this was used, we had to manually enter everything in, manually sign everything, manually notarize, and then that data had to be manually entered by the courts as well.
It cuts down on the time it takes to process a complaint as well. So if someone reoffends right away, the charge or arrest is already on record. It's a program law enforcement feels benefits everyone.
It makes the court's life easier, the law enforcement and BCA as well.
Of course, it comes down to our residents in Brooklyn Park. I think they'll appreciate that, having our officers out on the streets in a more timely manner, but also having more resources in place to deal with issues that could potentially come up. And I think that's the key piece here, is that our residents feel safe and secure as well.
Well, right now, eCharging only works for misdemeanor and gross misdemeanor cases. The State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension paid to implement the system in Brooklyn Park.
The state health department says it's not too late to get a flu shot. This after health officials report the second flu-related death in 2 weeks. More than 120 people were hospitalized with the flu last week, nearly twice as many as the week before. Health officials say the numbers confirm the winter flu season is off to an early start. Well, most Vikings fans see Sunday's game against Green Bay as do or die.
Big game, and K-Fan radio broadcast from Buffalo Wild Wings in Crystal Friday morning to rally the Vikings faithful. The border battle between the Pack and the Vikings easily drew the biggest crowd ever seen at BW's. And if the Vikings win, it means a spot in the playoffs.
I say we win. I say we win probably like 24-17.
My predictions are we are going to win by 13 points.
We're going to beat the Pack, and all is going to be good in Vikings country.
We'll have to wait and see. The heat is on Adrian Peterson as well. He stands to break the all-time single-season rushing record. Won't be easy, though. He needs 208 yards on Sunday to do it. Keep your fingers crossed, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Coming up, Creative Minds of 2012.
We'll look back at the inventions that impacted the northwest suburbs. And then later in sports, a couple of close calls for local girls hockey teams in New Hope.
But first, it's your AccuWeather forecast.
Inventions are the products of the imagination, and in 2012, the northwest suburbs had their fair share of imaginative people.
Inventions include a mobile phone app for the blind and a handheld language device for police. Here's Delane Cleveland with a look back.
For the visually impaired, getting from one side of the street to another can be quite the challenge.
Okay.
As Sue Jasmine demonstrated to us this past summer in Golden Valley.
We deserve the same ability to gauge the traffic lights as anybody.
You are pointing to south.
U of M researcher Chen-Fu Liao of Maple Grove tried to remedy that situation.
Hey, Jenny.
We decided maybe we can provide a signal information to the visually impaired through the smartphone. Since a lot of people are using their mobile phone right now, it's more of a personal device, personal solution.
He developed a smartphone app that gives visually impaired walkers a countdown to cross and provides a layout of the intersection.
We have a fairly large speaker in here.
Over in Plymouth, the police department made preparations for a new device called ELSA.
You push the button
that will help officers communicate with non-English speakers.
The police officer would have a device, and you push one button on this device, and you're connected to a live interpreter in 180 languages.
The mobile interpretation device not only translates, but records conversations as well.
They came to us, we are interested in it, and we think it's a good tool for our officers to have.
Innovation is in Minnesota's DNA, I think.
And then there's Doug Cornelius in Brooklyn Park. His father invented the soda fountain, and to pay tribute to his dad and other inventors, he wrote a book called Good News, I Failed.
It's a story of discovery of a 14-year-old boy who spent some time with his grandpa inventing.
His goal with the book is to inspire young people to dream big.
My dream would be to inspire the next Steve Jobs, but have him come from Minnesota.
If 2012 is any indication, Minnesota has reason for optimism. For 12 News Year in Review, I'm Delane Cleveland.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah,
where would we be
cool
without some of those
ideas.
folks? Well, coming up, action from a couple of big holiday basketball tournaments. Plus, saying goodbye to a friend and co-worker who you could say grew up here on Channel 12.
She says, you know, Earl, I says, what? She says, I turned 26, you know, this last week. And I said, gee, well, happy birthday. And she says, I really feel like I've grown up now.
A fond farewell for Jennifer is still to come.
I'm John Jacobson with your Friday Sports. It's a big week for holiday tournament hockey. Benilde St. Margaret's hosts the Sports Authority Holiday Classic. Maple Grove facing Elk River in the quarterfinals. Early in the first period, Peter Jones lasers a shot top corner for a 1-0 Elks lead. Later in the first, Chase Springman eludes the defense and gets the wraparound goal here, and it's 2-0. They aren't done yet. Jake Uremko blows by the defense and scores. It's 3-0 Elk River after one. The Crimson gets on the board in the second. Nate Erickson sets up Sam Valerius for the one-timer, and it's 3-1. The Elks strike again early in the third as Springman breaks in alone and tucks in the backhander. Maple Grove gets a power play goal by Erickson, but this is as close as the Crimson get. Elk River wins it by a score of 4-2. In girls hockey, Armstrong-Cooper is the host team for the All-Star Sports Holiday Classic. The Mahtomedi Zephyrs met the Champlin Park Rebels in one of the quarterfinals Thursday. Watch the great breakout pass here by the Rebels' Haley Adair, springing Leah Elledge for the breakaway goal. Champlin Park takes a 1-0 lead in the first period, the 13th goal of the year for Elledge. Second period, Haley Martinson steals the puck deep in the Zephyrs zone. She beats goalie Angela Barine, and Champlin Park's in front 2-0. They would go ahead 3-0 before Mahtomedi rallies. Chrissy Rathmanner passes to Madison Bergeron, who scores on their short side, and it's 3-2. Zephyrs tie it in the third period, but they turn the puck over in their own zone here. Elledge feeds Martinson for her second goal of the game. That's the game winner as Champlin Park advances in the winner's bracket with a 4-3 win. Host team Armstrong-Cooper meets Totino-Grace. Heather Kaluzniak picks up the loose puck and feeds Jessica Halverson for the shot and goal. Armstrong-Cooper leads 1-0 after one. On a shorthanded rush in the second period, Marissa Odell with the perfect timing on the pass to Emma Terrace, who tucked the backhander away for a 2-0 lead. But Tom Pert's Eagles aren't done. Just after failing to score in a 5-minute power play, Kristen Delich snaps the wrist shot home. Grace adds another, and it's 2-2 through regulation and overtime. We go to a shootout, tied 1-1, until Mari Verbatim wins it for Armstrong-Cooper. It's officially a tie, but Armstrong-Cooper wins the shootout to advance to the semis against Red Wing. In boys basketball, Wayzata is the two-time defending champion of the Catholic Spirit Tournament at the University of St. Thomas. The Trojans meeting Hill Murray in the quarterfinals. Ryan Byrne with a steal for Hill Murray, and he goes strong to the basket and scores two of his team-high 14 points. Then it's Jake Christensen with the quick release three-pointer. It's 29-24 Pioneers. Bradley Carlson finds Drake Mianis underneath for the Wayzata basket, but Hill Murray leads 35-34 at halftime. The Trojans turn it up in the second half, though. Carlson and then Kyle Calavoda from the corner both hit early three-pointers for Wayzata. Will Baninga passes to Zach Robertson, who shakes his defender and scores inside. Robertson nets 21 points as Wayzata advances to the semifinals with a 76-56 win. Also at St. Thomas, Providence Academy facing Rosemount. Early in the first half, Jackson Canfield passes to Eric Reichelson. He slashes and scores for Providence. Canfield distributing again, this time a long pass to Joe Heck for the basket. Nick Bolke drives and hits the tough shot plus a foul. Free throw makes it 16-7 Providence. Logan Halverson with a nice catch and shoot three-pointer for the Irish. But Heck answers with the steal and hoop coming up. He leads the Lions this night in scoring with 17 points. Providence leads at halftime, but it's Rosemount rallying to win it 58-50. The Armstrong boys are back at Edina's holiday tournament. The Falcons meeting St. Thomas Academy in the first round. Armstrong moves the ball well around to Evan Nolan for a three in the corner as the Falcons grab an early 11-6 lead on the Cadets. In transition, Matt Weisberg gets it to Ryan Casperson, who takes it strong with a jump hook and scores. Armstrong continues to lead a close game. Jerome Dixon on the drive. He hits the floater in the lane here. And it's 28-25 Falcons for Coach Greg Miller and Armstrong at halftime. It's a tight game throughout. Mitch Bewin drives baseline and finds Sean Burns all alone for the layup. And it's 33-31 Falcons. Down by two, St. Thomas grabs the lead here. Nick Griffith is open for a three. 40-39 Cadets. With the Falcons trailing by two, Danny Carlson delivers a nice assist to Bewin. It's 41 all, and this one goes to overtime. Armstrong gets the only basket in OT as they push it up court to Connor Getchie, who misses the tough shot but tips the rebound in. Armstrong wins a low-scoring battle, 44-41. That's it for 12 Sports. 12 News continues in a moment as we say goodbye to a good friend.
Well, finally, a word about a coworker. Jennifer Anderson started here as an intern and wound up staying for 10 years. And today we say goodbye to our coworker. Jennifer is leaving to take care of a new addition to her family, a 5-month-old son. And I don't think she knew this was coming, but Shannon Slatton put together this look at Jennifer's time at 12 News.
So with microphone in hand, let's go get a preview of what residents have to say.
As an eager young reporter,
Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions about
Jennifer Anderson landed her first full-time job after college.
Hi, would you be interested in No, okay.
Learning it's sometimes not as easy as it seems on TV.
Someone's gotta talk.
But she persevered.
Police, hands up!
Always giving the viewer a front row seat to news.
So it's all fun and games today, but in a rescue, it's gonna make all the difference for this fire department.
It was kind of fun on one hand just to sit and watch her.
One of the first big projects was on firefighter recruitment.
Well, it's not easy.
It earned an Emmy nomination.
She was always willing to experiment a little bit. So if we made a suggestion like, put on gear, go through the smoke trailer, experience a little bit about what we really truly do, she was more than willing to do so.
Later, with a regular segment called Local Living, Jennifer got to experience life in the Northwest Metro.
The segment that she provided was very helpful for people who watch the channel, and also she would help me, because if I'm new to TV and not quite sure what to say, she would encourage me and support me so that the viewers really got the best information.
The hometown girl who grew up watching local parades found herself covering them.
I found the guy with the best job in the parade.
Sometimes Jennifer went the extra mile to help.
Jennifer heard about it, and so we got sat down. She's, if I can help you roll with it, she said, I'd be glad to.
Like donating hours of her free time to assemble a book for the Robbinsdale Historical Society.
Jennifer has been a great help to us, and I think a great help to the station, so it's going to be hard to see her go.
Viewers got to know her even better as a main anchor.
It was really fun to be greeted every day at 4 o'clock with that Jennifer smile, and she was always just so happy. It's just like I ran to the TV to turn it on at 4 o'clock. Jennifer's going to be on.
Where she could bring the news to a community she cared about.
I just want to really thank her for all she's done for our communities, for our businesses, for our schools, our organizations, our individuals, and of course our cities, in everything that she's really done. And we're really going to miss her.
And you thought you were getting off easy.
I had no idea. I am so overwhelmed. That is the nicest thing.
Well, a lot happens in 10 years, including a number of local Emmys that you helped us with. But I know you're looking forward to time now with your new son.
Oh, my little champ is at home, and it's a hard change, but it's the right change. I can't wait to have more time with him. I'm going to miss everybody here. So many creative people that have taught me. I came knowing nothing.
I think you're working at a clothing store when I first met you,
exactly.
too, right?
Oh, the photographers, the people in the control room, my on-air.
One more time, say goodnight.
That's all the news for now. Thanks so much for watching.